Dan, let's start with you. We see prequels all the time, but we rarely see prequels going this far back. I mean, we're 300 years here, all the way back to 18th century. What drove the decision to go this far back in time?
Frankly, I've just been so interested in making a period science fiction film for a while. We rarely see special effects, visual effects in a period setting. So that was initially of interest. A lot of times prequels are telling the story prior to the events that we love. And that was not what we set out to do. We did not want to set out to tell the origin story of the Predator. For me, it was about taking it so far away from what we've seen that we can tell a brand new story that had merits on its own, that could feel like its own kind of movie and also be a great Predator film.
Amber and Dakota, were you guys familiar with the Predator series prior to this opportunity, or did you have to go to like Predator boot camp? Did you have to sort of line up the whole series? Tell me about your history with the Predator.
I think we were both probably. I know I was familiar in the sense of I realized a pop culture way, in the sense of like you hear ironically like get to the chopper all the time and you hear, and like the shake and stuff like that. But going back, watching it, I watched it first like after I realized what this was with my parents, and it was like just seeing so many things. I was like, oh my gosh, that's from this. Oh my gosh, that's from this. It was such a cool thing to go back and then like watch, all of them and see kind of everything of how much it like permeates into like even like meme culture and stuff like that. Like it's still everywhere. It's still so alive.
I was semi-familiar with the first one, the famous lines, get to the chopper. There's something out there and it ain't no man, but I hadn't, sat there and binged them like everybody else. So after I learned that I got the part, I sat down and I did my homework.
Run! Go! Get to the chopper!
Jhane, you're Comanche yourself. What was your initial reaction to hearing that you guys were going to revisit the Predator mythology, but through a historical lens so prominently involving Comanche heritage?
I was thrilled. I'm an enrolled member of the Comanche Nation, and for me to just have like all of everything of my tribe in this film is really important. So when I was interviewing and I finally saw the script, and even the first script said to be all dialogue in Comanche, oh my God, I was excited. I was like, Dan had me at Comanche.
I mean, there's so many notable things about this film. Here's another. This is the first major Hollywood action franchise film to really center Native Americans. Dan, let's start with you. How much was that part of sort of early conversations in the conceptual phase that you could break some ground here?
That was the whole idea. That was the pitch. That was the whole concept.
That was the conversation.
Yeah, it was because we're making this underdog story. I really not only was I just like, oh, it'd be great to see a movie that has Native American protagonists. We never see that. But even more so for this movie, where we're making a story about someone who is not really seen, and trying to say I deserve to be doing what I'm doing, to have that also be about people that in media and pop culture are often relegated to playing the sidekick or the villain, never the hero.
Jhane, what were the most important things to you that you guys got right about Comanche and Native culture?
Everything. Absolutely everything, because this movie really sets the bar for representation. The cast is predominantly Native. They're First Nations and Native or Indigenous from America. And then you break it down into how about their face paint, the hairstyles, everything is traditional. And that was a joy for me to be able to bring all of this into one project, because usually I'm on a project where they only need one part or something, but this one, just encompassed everything. So it's really important.
Amber and Dakota, what did being part of such a high profile project that centers Natives mean to each of you?
It was just an honor for me. I mean, just specifically having, Jhane, a Comanche woman herself, as the producer, basically, at one of the heads of the project. it was just, I mean, better than anything I could ask for. Specifically, it being my first project. I mean, they did everything that they could to make things right, and that carries a lot of weight in my mind.
To me, it means everything in the world. I mean, that's the thing about the movie that I'm most proud of. Like, there's so many amazing pieces to it, but to me, that is what like really touches my heart, and it falls into so many different boxes of things that we've accomplished. And in terms of representation, I mean, that's the like secret, the like Navy SEAL mission of my career is kind of to show that like Indigenous people can be and do everything and add value where I think it hasn't been shown yet. Like, you go all the way back, and like, we are oral storytellers. Like, storytelling is like, this is our medium. You so rarely see a period piece where Indigenous people get to be full people, and it's either people who are, you know, very savage or overly spiritual. So getting to show a variety of personalities with social dynamics and all kinds of things like that, and inside of a movie like Predator, which is so also just fun and exciting and entertaining, to me is just like the best thing in the world.